Nuffinbutfishing thing.
Morning everyone, you join me on a very damp and miserable Monday morning really. Pike on the agenda once again. Sorry for all you carp anglers that have watched me for years. You may be getting a bit frustrated with this pike angling, but I'm really enjoying it at the moment, and that's what fishing is about really. So I've come up Newton Park and all with my pike gear set up. I'm fishing with floats today. I've not done any pike fishing with floats, so I thought I'd give it a crack up here before I try it anywhere else. Use it on a still water, somewhere I get pretty used to the technique. I know it's probably quite simple, but when you've never done it before, it's always best to try it out fairly basic first and then use it elsewhere when you're confident with it. So Newton Park is the location. From what I saw up on the road, it looked very coloured. I did just see the bailiff, and it was recently chalked, so the water is very coloured, so that may be a bit of an issue, but we'll give it a crack. I got a mixture of baits. I got mackerel and a mixture of frozen baits as well, so I've got a few different smells and fish to go with. And it's quite an active approach really. You can move the floats around and get into different depths. Just try out and see what works. So fingers crossed we'll have something, and if it really doesn't pay off, never mind. It's always nice to be out anyway. But day off, I've got to make the most of it. So let's get to a swim and get some rods out. Well, I'm in my swim. I've gone for the dam wall. That's mainly because it's got some nice margins to the right and left, which I wanted to focus on, but also I've got a lot of open water out in front of me, so if the margins aren't producing or I fancy fishing deeper water, then I've got all that option. Like I said, float fishing, so I can chop and change depths. I know that to the right can be quite snaggy from carp fishing, so I will be quite careful not to snag up in there, but knowing me, I probably will. But yeah, lots of options, so fingers crossed we'll have something. Like I mentioned, the lake was chalked recently, and by looking at the opposite swims, they're covered in chalk, so it must have been within the last few days. I've never pike fished before after a chalking on a lake, so it's completely new conditions for me. The water does look quite coloured, so it's not the perfect conditions, but then again, it's a bit different fishing a lake to a muddied river, so we'll give it a try, and hopefully we'll have a few pike. This swim about an hour and a half now. It's just gone lunchtime, it's about 12:30. So I think I'm going to bring the rods in. I've cast a few times, let the baits drift round in the wind, and I've not had any interest. The wind is pushing down this way, it's very coloured, and obviously it's chalking, so it's not brilliant conditions. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring both the rods in and walk to the complete other end of the lake where there's fresh flowing water coming into the lake. So the water might be a bit fresher, not as coloured. So it's worth a try up there. It's a nice snaggy-ish, quite a thin area, so I think I'm going to give it a crack up there for an hour or two, and just keep it active again. I think that's my approach to pike fishing really. Chosen the complete other end of the lake, and I've been here probably about half an hour or so. As soon as I got here, it started pouring down with rain, so I had to put the plastic bag over the camera, so I've got no shelter, and soak up the rest with my own clothes. So not the best of starting the new swim. I've got one rod being nibbled by a swan at the moment, which is just where this flow comes in. It's sort of going in and around, and the other one a bit down here. No interest so far. But to be honest, the more I'm here, the more I'm starting to think pike just really aren't interested. After the lake's been chalked as well, it's a strange colour, it's going to put the fish off, so it's not the best conditions. It's just coming up 2 o'clock, I think it is. I know, 20 past 1. So I might give it another 20 minutes or so, wind in, and shoot down to the river for the last couple of hours, because it's only a 2-minute drive from here, so stick out here a little bit longer, but I think we've got more of a chance of catching something a couple of hours. Well, as you can see, I decided to pack up the new Pike and move to my favourite spot on the Avon, and I don't think it was worth it. As you can tell, it's blowing a hoolie. The forecast was up to 50-mile-an-hour gusts, and obviously where I was a bit more sheltered. Here, open field and the river, it's whipping through. Some of the waves and things are actually white capped as well, so it's all over the place, and the water obviously is pushing that way and the wind's pushing that way, so I got one on the float really close in because there's no point putting it out further, it's just flying through, and I put the left one close in on a bottom bait, but the conditions for the water really aren't very good. It's cloudy as you like as well, so and looking like it's going to be my first blank of the year, which is a shame, but I should have taken into account the weather conditions and the fact that we've had a lot of rain for the last few days. So the river's up and it's just not really great. So that's how fishing goes sometimes. It's my day off, so I have to go with the weather conditions that were put in front of me. But it's always nice to be out and a bit of practice with float fishing, even though I didn't catch anything. It's very simple. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please add me on Facebook and Instagram if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. And see you again next time. Cheers guys. Nuffinbutfishing.